Hello traders, it's Graham here from Kilted Trading. Few updates this week. We'll probably run a little bit longer than normal. I've got a few things I want to get you guys across, and hopefully you'll pick up some tips and tricks again. So we're going to let you know about some of the updates we've had on Facebook. We're going to talk about a couple of stocks. And how we blend the use of our indicators there to get a good outcome, and we will probably wrap up after that. All right, okay, we'll get started. So on Facebook, as I promised, we have uploaded our results of our Kilted Nessie indicator, which has been fantastic. We have a 73.68 win rate on that, and I've uploaded the journal and there for the trades, a bit of a summary. I was a bit disappointed I couldn't actually update or include the PDF, which shows basically the full journal, because Facebook only allows you to upload photos and videos. So for those who are taking up the offer, you want to see the sort of 14-day trial where you like and share us on Facebook. If you reach out to us there, I'll give you the full PDF, which shows you all the charts, all the journals of the entry points, the stop losses and the take profits. Because I have that available, I just couldn't upload it to Facebook. But if you guys reach out to me, I can certainly give you that, not a problem. The other thing to note is I have uploaded for each of the indicators the position size calculator for the NT4 platform, which is all free. Even if you take us up on the 14-day offer and don't want to purchase the indicator, you will get that indicator for free. Take it away with you, not an issue at all. Always happy to share some of those free tools that we basically evaluate and think are a really good tool for traders. And that one's a Forex tool, so for those on the currency markets, great addition to your trade management. And we certainly use it here at Kilted Trading and have found it to be really, really good. Okay, so that's a bit on the housekeeping in terms of some updates on socials. If we jump to Tesla, let's get right into the charts. We love getting into the charts. So this is a setup that I took on Tesla. I got in on... we had basically a bit of a bull run on Tesla. My bias is long on Tesla. I have been biased long for quite some time. I was looking basically for another entry point to get into the market. So we had a 5-for-1 stock split. So if you had one share of Tesla, you got 5 shares after the split. So basically what happened was we've had this really nice bull run up here. We've had this pullback. And people talk about buy zone, sell zones. This is a great illustration of that based on our daily Renko chart. So I've drawn basically a dynamic support line from here, and this was our first pullback, and then we've bulled up. So I was looking for it to come back a little bit further, and I've drawn my dynamic sort of resistance line here. As always, when you draw the resistance, you don't necessarily just want to get in, when you think it's going to retest, say, down here and you get in, you want to get in when it's actually going up after it's broken that trend line. So it's did it on this occasion. I did expect it to come back a little bit further, probably more down, towards this previous support level. But it's so bullish that it's taken off again a little bit, and we've had this little retracement. So I got in at the 437 mark, which is sort of here. And look, it's retraced a little bit. But the reason why I'm still liking being long in Tesla is if we come out of the daily and we go into what I call my precision entry, I've actually got the Kilted price action trader up here. So I'll just zoom on that, which is on the 1 hour chart, and I'll show you something that I'm quite liking now. It wasn't admittedly there when I first took the trade, because I like to keep it simple. I was basically just waiting for the pullback to happen, get that behind me, then bullet long. However, there's something, and it has retraced, so I got in at 437. It has retraced a little bit, so let's get some of the indicators off, and you'll see why I'm still liking it. So I've got in at the 437 mark, which is going to be about, say, round about here somewhere. So you can see it's come up above the 200. I was up above the 20 and the 50. Stop loss was down here. No, not down there. My stop loss was under this support level down here, about the 400 mark. So we've had this pullback again, but what I like here is for those with the trained eye are probably hopefully seeing what's setting up on Tesla at the minute. And this is on the 1 hour chart, guys, but let's walk this through. So if we look at Tesla price action right now, we're looking pretty bullish. We've had this this breakout, we've had this back into the sort of support zone, and now we've had a little bit of sideways consolidation here. But what I like about this is, if we just draw this up together, is what I'm seeing is a bit of inverse head and shoulders action here. So if we draw right shoulder here, here, and here, right shoulder here, we're looking with a very nice setup at the moment. Now, based on the price action, it's looking pretty good. Now, if you were going to trade and jump in now, which this is obviously for educational purposes only, but what we see here is a quite nice head and shoulders pattern. Now, if you are going to trade this, and I'm still in the trade, so I was in up here, where was I? I'm here basically. So it's come back down, and we're setting up with this rather nice pattern. If you want to trade this pattern, this is how you would trade it. You'd be looking for a close probably above here. Okay, so you'd like to see a daily close up above this level. Remember, we're on the 1 hour chart here, but you certainly want to see a close above this level. If you're trading intraday, which this setup would be intraday, you'd be looking at a close above the neckline. We haven't got there quite yet, so you'd be looking at a close probably up around the 438, possibly 437, where I sort of got in. Be looking for a close up there. Where would your stop loss go? Well, let's just mark that out. You'd be looking long, say you got in there here. You'd be looking long here. Your stop loss would be under the right shoulder. Your price target would be, it would be a measured target. So what we mean by that is it would be from the head to the neckline, which is there. We take that up, and that gives us our target, which is there, which is our 465 sort of zone, which is quite nice. Let's see what that gives us in terms of ratio. That will give us just over a 1-to-1, so 1.28, so just over a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio there. My target's actually up here. My target's actually up at the sort of 500 zone, so that would be my first take profit level. Second one would probably be up around the just shy of the 500. The market loves the rounded numbers, so I'd be looking probably somewhere around here, 497, something like that. So that's a really nice trade setup on Tesla right now, so I'm looking to stay in that trade. And hopefully this pattern plays out. So that's one that where we've mixed, I guess, a Renko chart on a daily with our price action trader on the 1 hour. You can flick it around as well if you like. Our Kilted Trend Pilot, you can obviously see what that's doing there. it's looking like, again, it's matching the sort of price action. So we've got long versus long here, so blue matches blue, and we've actually got a setup here. Remember, the Kilted Trend Pilot is for setups, right? What you want to be doing is looking at where you now take an entry. So obviously you're seeing a pattern here. You don't really want to take it as soon as this is giving you the signal. If you're a price action trader, you'd be looking to trade the pattern, which in this case would be an inverse head and shoulders, so you'd be looking for a break above. But that's certainly giving you what would look like a decent entry point, which is good. So if we now look at Beyond Meat, this is another one that I've been quite interested in. Again, I've been patient with this one. It's been a really nice trade. I'll show you how I traded it. So on the daily chart, we had this sort of, it went, after its IPO, it went pretty much parabolic. But I've had this dynamic resistance line in here, which I've been following, and so it's really just been within this range. Now it's broken out of this range. Normally you'd see a price breaking lower, but it can break either way. In this case, it's been interesting. It's actually broken to the upside. On this one, I got in at the $142.73 mark. Now the reason being, and it's a good lesson learned for those who are using the Kilted Trend Pilot, what I like to see, unless I'm trading intraday, now sometimes I do that on the US stock market, most times I'm not around at those sort of times, so what I'll do is I'll more do a type of swing trade. If you're doing that, especially on US stocks, and you're not around at the time to take the intraday trades, is what I like to see is this Kilted A plus setup. It's great if you're intraday trading. If not, and you like the swing trade, what I'd get in is on the first retest or retry entry, which is here. So you've got your burst up, you've got your retracement back, and then you've got a signal to get in long. I usually take that one for the sole reason that, when you've got this Kilted by A+, what it's saying is you've got a change of trend in the market. Okay, in this case, a daily. So you're really looking for that breakout, and then you're looking for that retest. It's that retest point, that's when you're looking to get involved in the market again, because that's the pullback. Pullback's behind you, then you're bulling it long or you're bearing it short. So if we look at, I took this one actually on the 4 hour. So if we just come out of here and we'll jump into the 4 hour, and we'll show you exactly where we got in. Again, we'll take off some of the business on the chart. So we're getting a little bit technical here, guys, but I like to keep it pretty simple. You can see I had lots of indicators on there before. We've got our breakout here. Now what I was looking for is this change of trend again. So we draw this dynamic sort of resistance line. I just want to change the color of that to red. So what I waited for is basically the break of this downtrend, the pullback, to go back in long here. So that's where I got in. It's around about this 140. No, Linda, we got it back here actually, tell a lie. Let's draw this out. I can get my cursor. So we got in down here somewhere, wasn't it? Let's draw that out. I think that's where we got in initially. Yeah, the 3 bar. So I had this 3 bar play, and then we've got in basically at this level here, this 142. So you can see that I've waited for the pullback, and then I've made sure that's actually on the uptrend. I haven't got in here on this retest. I've actually waited till this trend line break has happened so I can actually go long, and I've held it basically. So that's where we got in long. If you've missed that, there's always a second chance, especially when you've got a fairly strong uptrend, which will be shown by the Kilted Strength Mirror. Is the way you do that is I've got a Bollinger Band here, so it's basically walked up the Bollinger Band here. Then when it started to do its little bit of a pullback jig, But what we can do is some trend lines here. So what you're doing is keep it really simple, guys. You don't even need your indicators for this one. You have a fairly conservative sort of line here. You can see this one you'd have probably had about there. And then what you're looking for is this break. So once it breaks to the upside, you're putting your stop loss down here below the last swing low, and then you're looking to take it long. So there's been multiple chances to get in long on this one. You even had another one, slightly brief one here that's come up. You'd have probably taken it above this support line here. There's another chance to get in. Now it is looking a little bit overextended. Let's see what some of the indicators are telling us. So MACD is it's coming off a little bit, and it's fairly well extended there. RSI's probably got a little bit to go, but you can see it's getting into this sort of overbought sort of territory. Well, we're well into that overbought territory, and you can see there's a bit of exhaustion here. So it might be a further little bit of build up of structure before we bull up again, or we might get this this pullback. So it's looking more likely that we'll have something like this, where it comes back down, meets the 20, and then goes up again. Okay. Nothing guaranteed, of course, but that's what it looks like it's presenting. How will I trade this? Look, I'll probably look to move my stop up a little bit on this one to protect what has been a good trade. I might even take 80% off and let it just run and move my stop up, under the last swing low, maybe up to here, and let the rest run. So multiple ways to play it. It depends on, are you in it for the long term, you're in it for a shorter term gain. We're up 36% on that, which is not to be sniffed at. So I'll probably take a fair percentage off the table and let the rest run. So that's, as you hopefully can see, a couple of ways that we can mix up our indicators. One with the Kilted Trend Pilot, and then we've got our Kilted Price Action Trader. You can look at both. Just be mindful that the Kilted Trend Pilot, I have to admit, when I'm looking for that precision entry, I actually prefer the Kilted Price Action Trader, more because it's a purist sort of view of the market, and that's what a lot of your Wall Street traders will be looking at. Your fund traders will be looking at more your moving averages. You might only have moving averages on the chart, the key one being the 200 down here. But yeah, that's just a preferential thing, and that's how I like to trade it. Another trade that I've been looking at is gold. Last week, the Forex market was particularly quite difficult to trade. A lot of people were saying the same thing. Lots of really good opportunities in the market, but there was also a lot of volatility, a lot of news. So unless you were trading intraday, which I found quite hard last week, I was quite busy last week. But what I did like was some of the gold setups. So I was stocking the DXY, which is the US dollar currency index, which shows the strength of the dollar. Now, if you were using the Kilted Trend Pilot, you'd have seen that the dollar strength was actually weakening. We had this strong level of resistance, which it broke through. Where a lot of folks were expecting that to hold, and then come off up here to do something like this. Come down here, retest, then lightning bolt up. Here, that didn't quite happen. It actually reversed, and we saw Friday finishing quite negative. Bearing in mind Friday's a fairly slow day in the market usually, so we get some false reads there. So but certainly gold, I looked at gold last week when I saw this weakening. Actually took a gold trade which played out rather well. Might actually been even in the 1 hour. Let's go into this one. So yeah, we took it long based on this sort of price action here. Actually got down, I'm pretty sure I took it on a 1 hour chart. Yeah, so we had basically a nice move up above the 200. Let's get some of this busy stuff off just a sec. Make it a little bit less busy, and we'll just get some of the indicators. Oh, not that one. Well, that's a bit better. So what we had here is we had the US dollar index weakening, and what we saw, or what I saw, was a nice push to the upside. So I took that trade last week. So what did we have here? Well, we had a break above the 200. We had price action above the 20 and above the 50, which set up really nice. But I was going on the back of the dollar index weakening, and that's why I took the long on gold, which played out really